That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Happiest Season, the sophomore film directed by Clea DuVall, which will be available on Hulu November 25th, 2020.
What was this person's first movie?
The Intervention from 2016, which premiered at Sundance, I believe, and I did not see that film. I'm familiar with a lot of her work as an actress, however.
This film stars a lot of people. Kristen Stewart, the lady who I think is Taylor Schilling.
Mackenzie Davis.
Who also looks like Captain America to me.
That's Brie Larson. Brie Larson and Taylor Schilling are not in this movie.
Wait. Brie Larson, then who's the lady, who's Dave Franco's wife?
Alison Brie.
Oh, see, Brie and Brie. Anyway, Steenburgen.
Mary Steenburgen, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That gay man from X-Men.
Who's
the dad?
Victor Garber?
Oh.
Who are you confusing him with?
Who's the dad in X-Men who is not supportive of his winged son?
Oh, that's Bruce Davison.
Oh.
Who from Longtime Companion and Willard and... no, Victor Garber is from Titanic. He's married to Jamie Lee Curtis in You Again.
Okay. Aubrey Plaza's in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Right? Oh, no. The lady from SNL.
Anna Gasteyer.
Michelle
Buteau.
She has a very small role in the beginning, but she's in it.
Yes.
Anyway, this movie is... Oh, who else?
No, go ahead.
This movie is about a lesbian couple. Harper, who's played by...
Ms. Davis.
And Abby, played by Kristen Stewart. Mm-hmm. And they're somewhere in New England.
It was filmed in Pittsburgh.
It's Christmas time. And the film opens with them going on a walking tour of Christmas decorations. The tour guide is played by Michelle Buteau.
And that's all she does, yeah.
That's all she's doing. Abby and Harper are having a wonderful night. It's magical. They're in the holiday spirit. Harper's so in love with Abby that she just asks her, I want you to spend Christmas with my family and I. So Abby says yes, if she can get it covered, because she has to work, Christmas Eve or something.
Oh, I just know who you forgot about. Dan Levy.
Dan Levy's in it.
And two drag queens.
Jinx Monsoon and Ben De La Creme.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. The crux of the story is that Harper, the Davis lady, her parents are very conservative. Mm-hmm. The dad is running for mayor of whatever little town they live in and would not support the idea of his daughter being a lesbian.
She believes, yeah.
She believes. So she invites her lesbian girlfriend home thinking that would be a good idea. And of course, Abby, Kristen Stewart's character, thinks, Harper told Abby, I told my parents about us. They couldn't be happier.
A year ago or something. And Abby has purchased a ring and she's going to...
propose.
She's going to ask for her father's permission for his daughter's hand in marriage.
We are dragging this out so badly. Anyway, on the drive to Harper's parents' house, Harper decides to tell Abby, when I told my parents about us and how happy they were? Well, that wasn't really true. Mm-hmm. So Abby's like, oh no, they're not happy about us. No, I didn't tell them about us at all. They don't know I'm a lesbian. Of course, Abby is like, turn this bitch around. I'm not going. Harper convinces her. Abby's character is very sweet, very understanding, very accommodating. And Harper is just a brat.
Basically.
A selfish, yeah. So Harper drags Abby along, and it goes exactly how you would expect. These conservative parents with this perfect life in their plantation-style home, if that's what you would call it.
A palatial estate.
It's not palatial.
That's pretty big.
It has the big columns in front.
Yeah, it's an estate.
To me,
manor.
To me, it seems more like a conservative type. Everything about it is stuffy.
Yes.
The mom, Steenburgen, very sort of uptight in particular, which we'll get to. The dad is more focused on his career and politics than anything else. And then we have Harper's two sisters. So the one is played by Brie.
Alison Brie.
Brie is super uptight. They used to be like, so she's married to a black man and they have 2 twin children, and both her and her husband like graduated from Yale Law School, were successful attorneys, but then decided to stop doing that to sell what we're told are gift baskets. That sister's name is Sloane.
Sloane.
She's pretty awful.
Yes.
Not in a fun way, but she's awful.
She's a bundle of stereotypes, yeah.
And then the best character in the film to me is the other daughter, Jane.
Played by Mary Holland, who co-wrote the film along with Clea DuVall.
Who I think looks like a young brunette Reese Witherspoon.
She's got that angular head, yeah.
And that mouth.
The sisters, was it Harper, Sloane, and Jane? It sounds like a law firm.
It does. Joan is made out to be kind of like a weirdo.
Definitely.
But sweet and good-willed. So we have those 3 characters. And it's very clear that they're all in competition, vying for their parents' attention, wanting to be perfect. So all the things that you can imagine, that would go wrong when you bring your significant other home, knowing that your parents won't approve. It culminates with a white elephant gift exchange where all of like friends, family, and a Gasteyer plays this like political heavyweight who basically can decide whether or not the dad can be mayor. So during this white elephant exchange, Sloane sees Harper making out with Abby. So she's like, oh my God, you're a lesbian. I'm going to tell our parents. They get into a fight in front of everyone, and Sloane says it. And then things just kind of devolve. But of course, as predicted, the film ends with the parents sort of acknowledging that they've been so like stern and strict and trying to like be this perfect family that really they messed up all their children. But they support them and love them. The dad decides to give up his political career to foster like a happy family. Everyone's all happy.
The sister publishes her decade-long fantasy
which
novel.
we'll get into, but pretty much happily ever after.
Yes.
The end.
It's a Wonderful Life. They're basking in the glow of the Jimmy Stewart classic.
Would you like to start, or should I go through my notes first?
Let's go through your notes.
My first note is like, why would she invite her? I just think Harper inviting Abby, that's the sort of thing, like, that's not the sort of thing that, that you would invite, like, that's not something you just do on a whim. Like, oh, I'm gonna invite my lesbian girlfriend to my conservative parents' house who won't approve of it. And thinking that would be a good idea.
And she's not even out, yeah.
And she's not out, and I think that premise alone is like a really bad start to this story.
Sure.
Okay. Steenburgen. Maria or Mary? Mary.
Who I like a lot.
Okay, my issue with her is she's very in the middle because she's kind of uptight but not super prickly, just uptight. But when she finds out that her children are basically messed up because she didn't foster she wasn't a good mom basically, she turns around like instantly.
Yeah, it's in the writing. She's not a written character. Yes, and as you had been mentioning after the film, a woman that's this particular wouldn't also be so oblivious to let her family kind of be in the shambles.
Yeah, because
as shambolic as it is.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're supposed to be the perfect family, but to a casual observer right away, these folks are jacked. So I don't understand how she, like you said, would be so oblivious. I think that character should have been like Christine Baranski in what's that movie called? Bad Moms
Holiday. I haven't seen that.
I did. Super just uptight and rude and doesn't care. Or Diane Weiss in The Birdcage.
I was thinking a nice chilly mom like Mary Tyler Moore in Ordinary People,
which I haven't seen. But either way, she feels off.
She does feel off, but she's utilized for her persona as an actress. We've seen her in these kind of high profile comedies like Step Brothers and Elf. She's very much in that vein as she is here.
Also, there's a scene where they go to a big social dinner during Abby's visit over the holidays. They go to a political dinner, and the mom gets all dolled up. and they put like a bump it in her hair.
Yeah.
That looks so crazy.
It does look.
She looks deformed. That was a poor choice.
Which, the physicality of that, I think, could have been a kind of a prop they played with.
You could have played on it.
But it's like this film is missing a veneer of slapstick that would have really sold it.
Yes. I think we were both surprised when we found out that the dad is just running for mayor.
Yeah.
I thought he was running for governor or like a senator. The way they make this like this whole big production and...
Well, because Harper's whole thing is like, I can't come out I have to wait till after the holidays. That's how she lures Kristen Stewart there. Is she says, I'm going to come out after the holidays. We can't ruin Christmas, of course. But yeah, just so he can run for mayor.
Which is a very important job, and especially if he's in a big city like... We don't know where they are. They're not in Philadelphia.
Right.
I don't think.
But how much... Like... The mayoral candidacy where we live, am I paying attention to the sexual orientation of people's children? Like, I don't know what their children are up to. The mayor?
That seemed odd. Harper is trash.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't stand that character. Also, that actor. I think she is like the most bland. Because Kristen Stewart has really grown on me, and I like her now. And she's, great to look at. I think she has a great personality. She's a good actor. Mm-hmm. And her character, I think, this lady is not cute enough for her. Is just... Because she needed to be, like, sexy or something...
Something to pop about
Something to pop about this bitch for me to believe that, like, a character like... Because Kristen Stewart's character is in a PhD program. She has it going on. Mm-hmm. To be sticking around for this old buttermilk looking bitch, I don't know.
Oh my God.
But also...
You are always very hard on her.
because I didn't like her in that Steve Carell movie.
Irresistible.
And what else did I didn't like her in?
The last Terminator film.
Oh my God. She could have been a robot.
And then, did you see Tully, where she plays the fantastical, magical au pair to Charlize Theron?
I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't like it.
Oh.
But those twins were trash. I hated those kids.
Those goddamn kids were terrible.
Oh my God. I don't understand. Also, they're like supposed to be sweet and innocent, but also evil.
Yeah, it's just like it's missing a few twists of of how these characters could have been crafted for like a fine comedy ensemble.
There's a scene where, because part of the strain, once Harper and Abby are at the parents' house, things devolve because Harper's preoccupied with like her friends and her ex-boyfriend. They don't know she's a lesbian, so obviously Abby feels away. Then they bump into Harper's ex, played by Aubrey Plaza.
Riley.
Who
looks, I thought, fantastic.
Yeah, you did. She's a doctor now. She seems like a really cool person, and she wants to kind of like commiserate with Abby. Mm-hmm. And sort of tells her like I can relate, and Abby pretends like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But ultimately she says like, yeah, we're together. So they kind of have a bond. There's a scene where they go, or Abby tries to go Christmas shopping for the white elephant gift, and she brings those damn twins along. And they dump like some jewelry in her bag, so then she gets caught shoplifting. And that's a thing. Which I also thought that scene was terrible. Those two security guards, it was not funny.
No, it's very broad, slapsticky. It's kind of like in the very beginning of the film where they are on top of that house and the people in it get upset and she falls off the roof. And then there's that weird exchange with the people dressed up as a reindeer and a Mrs. Santa.
Actually, that's a good point. The opening scene, yes, that was not funny.
No.
It just felt awkward.
It was.
Like this review right now, because I feel all over the place. But, another thing I didn't like, the music.
There's no good Christmas music in this.
But they're playing Christmas songs, and every song sounded like it was sung by, like, someone you know those covers of, like, popular artists? Mm-hmm. And it's someone who's trying to sound like them? That's what they sounded like. I thought it was terrible.
I think for what the purpose of this film is to have this kind of, this lovely holiday film from the perspective, from a queer perspective that's kind of showing what we have to go through and also being positive and inclusive at the same time. Like, it really misses the mark on being what I want, that go-to thing I want it to be, kind of like the Family Stone. Like, that's the gay Christmas movie that's glossy and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
So between Harper, Abby, her ex, her friends, Aubrey, Plaza's character, I have a note that says, are all of these bitches supposed to be the same age? And if so, what age would that be?
I think Aubrey and Mackenzie are supposed to be, because they were cohorts at school. And then there was that tidbit too, because they get outed in like junior high whenever they were dating, and Harper just says that, oh, Riley's gay, I'm not, and then of course ruins that girl's reputation. And of course the layering here is that she's doing the same thing to Abby in front of her, which is kind of potent.
Yeah, so at the White Elephant exchange where everyone's there, Harper, when she's outed as being a lesbian, says, I'm not gay. And of course Abby is like, she leaves the house, and Riley's there and looks at her like, bitch, you ain't shit.
Dan Levy does get and he's Kristen Stewart's friend who's watching the animals that she's...
Abby's character is able to go away for the holidays because her good gay friend, played by Dan Levy, is able to like handle her responsibilities.
And he has a very nice monologue about how everybody's coming out experience is different, and that everyone has to come out of their own accord, not for someone else, and this woman simply wasn't ready to, which is very nicely stated. At the same time, we don't really deal with the extreme self-loathing and dysfunction that a person like Harper would also need to be unpacking and dealing with. And she does say it bothered her what she did to Riley, and she's sorry about it, but that's not enough. Is what I felt.
Okay, so trying to be positive for a second, I think Dan Levy's character works well for most of the film.
I think
he's just playing his normal character, so it's not a stretch, but I think it works well. And he's basically, throughout Abby's time at Harper's parents' house, he's calling her, telling her like, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't let her keep you in the closet or put you back in the closet, blah, blah, blah. But when, like you mentioned, that sort of heartwarming scene where he explains to her how everyone comes out differently, I was like certain the only way this film would have been redeemed, this story, is if Abby would have said like, I'm done. Like,
yeah, but then...
But she goes right back.
But this is the kind of film where the name of the game is supposed to be like positivity. Like, we're supposed to see them be happy and able to move beyond that conflict and trauma at the end.
I think what would have helped is if Harper's character wouldn't have been so just despicable to me, and maybe just afraid to come out to her parents. Mm-hmm. Like, she maybe tricked her girlfriend to come with because she needed help. So something that didn't feel so gross, because Harper doesn't deserve Abby. Right.
It's kind of the rings they make Kristen Stewart's character run around. It's like, oh, this is a terrible traumatic experience, to the extent where we get the obligatory scene where she tries to sneak from her basement bedroom up into Harper's bedroom and gets stuck, of course, in the closet on the way up there. And I think that it's not sharp enough to really deal with the traumatic subtext, but and that's okay.
What did I like? The daughter, Jane, I thought was very cute because she's an oddball, and like there's several scenes where her dad will say like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. I need my computer fixed. My printer's not working." She'll scurry away.
The Wi-Fi's not working, Jane. Oh.
But she sort of saves the story, because when the dad says, "You know what? I was only doing I spent all our savings to run for mayor because I wanted to be perfect for you all, and I do all this for you, but it's clear like I should have been focusing on my family and not on this image." Jane says, "Well, don't worry about money, because I'm going to sell my book and be famous and I'll take care of everyone." Mm-hmm. And then literally we get a title card that says 1 year later, and now she's like J.K. Rowling. No. And we also got, because her book is like a Harry Potter book, and in the beginning we kind of got exposition that Dan Levy's character is like a book agent.
Yeah, he's an agent.
So how convenient. And now he's her agent. So now she's rich and famous and she can take care of everyone.
I would say she's very nerdy, and it's not, I'd say more like Ursula K. Le Guin than Harry Potter.
Well, I don't know who that is, but she's writing some sci-fi book with a lot of characters, and it's very long.
It's like Frank Herbert's Dune.
Other positives? I said Jinx Monsoon and Ben de la Creme are in it.
Yeah, they don't really have anything to do with it.
it.
I did really like Kristen Stewart. I thought that she has a few, pretty poignant sequences where she's, she just starts kind of welling up on the phone talking to Dan Levy. That I wasn't expecting her to go there in this kind of film. I liked her look. I did get really excited to see her and Aubrey Plaza on screen together because I think that's a little bit of a missed opportunity with them. I don't know. I
wanted to see them sort of come together and like take down Harper, because she's done both of them crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But that didn't happen.
No,
not even close.
But it reminded me a lot of a film that really meant a lot to me as a kid when I saw it, which was Jodie Foster's Home for the Holidays with Holly Hunter and Robert Downey Jr. as the gay brother, and that's set around Thanksgiving with Anne Bancroft as the mother, and Robert Downey Jr. as the gay brother who's the black sheep, the outcast, but just the reverence Holly Hunter has for him, and then the hatred his other sister has for him. I wanted it to have that kind of bite as well, because I think that would have eventually made this feel more meaningful and less fluffy.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm so scatterbrained right now. What would you give this movie?
I
would give it 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5.
I did not care for it.
I want to give it 3 out of 5, but I think 2.5 feels fair to me.
Anything else?
No.
Bye.
Bye.